Hello and welcome back to Cities Skylines and the city of Doverton. You join us at a special moment as we're now zooming straight in on our population down here, where we currently sit. Well, it was at 119,000 something, but now it's 120,022. We have just breached that big mark of 120,000. So there we go. Little whoop whoop, celebrate. And time to look at what we did in the last episode. So this is what we put in last time. We put in a bit of nice high rise at the end, a big central park yet to be filled in, so it's just a huge long expanse of nice openness, and then a lot of construction went in, although what I was lacking was a few schools. So what I'm going to do is show you what I went up and found. I promised that I'd go off and have a look for some schools on the Steam Workshop. So that's what I did. Let's see what I found. So this is the first one I think is a nice promising one. So I'll drop him in there. Come off this and we'll have a nice little look-see. So I like this one. It's got all the nice little layers to it. It looks nice and urban, it's compact. And it's got a nice little playground for the kiddly-winkies to play in. So that's option one for an elementary school. So we come back up. And it's got a lot of capacity, over 1,000 students, so we can put a lot of kids into this one. Then this one looked better than it was. I'm not a big fan of that one, so we're going to skip past him. Now these from Nova look incredible. I'm not going to use it because, as you can see, the footprint's quite small. It's only 3 deep by that 6. But we'll pop it in because I'm going to use my other points, I think. But if we then pop him in, zoom in, like this building, like the details are beautiful. You've even got the little dumpsters on the side and everything. Like, that is lovely. So yeah, there's two of these by Nova, both the same footprint. So I'll probably just drop the other one in. And yeah, they're the same footprints. So I'll come off this. They're pretty much the same building. Like, one's got the light blue, one's a bit of orange and stuff, but they look incredible. And I will use them. Like, I might put them in, but what's that? I mean, they can hold 300. These are all holding more than usual because I've got my budget for my education turned right up to max. So the other one that I liked, I think, was this one. So so there's an awful lot from Nova and an awful lot of Toronto. So what's it? Elementary School 8. Again, it's a nice big footprint. Come up there. It's got a few cool little wings going on. A couple of layers. There's some lovely details. Again, we've got like a little bin store on the side. I really like that. A couple of picnic benches for the kids to have their packed lunch at. And just lots of nice classrooms. I like that. It looks quite dated in a way. Like, I can imagine this was built in like the 60s. But that's how a lot of schools over here look. And I thought, so it's between these two I'm going to be dropping in. So the Toronto one and that first option. These two from Nova I won't use here, but they look too good not to get used. Check them out, they are good. So high school wise, firstly I'll put a couple of them in. So we had this one. So we've got high school with a capacity of 600, so it's quite low capacity. And then Loretto Abbey Secondary School. Yes. So if we look at these two, I won't use either because they're not quite the right style. So I love this one. Like, it does look like a Catholic school or like a faith school or something, which I think is what it's meant to do. But I love just all the different wings of it and like the chapel in the middle. I think that looks good. And then this high school, to me, just looks very American, like a very American suburban high school, and I like it, but it's not what we need for here. So we'll get rid of these two. I'm going to check on with the next lot. So what do we have in here? These next three are popped down. So we've got this one, which is just called high school, capacity 1200, and then a couple more from Nova. So we've got this one. So there's one high school and another one to pop it in next door to it. Yep. So this high school is just called high school, and it really is a high school. Look how tall it is. Lots of capacity, but lots of space. Few floors. Like I like it. It's got a nice bit of detail in it. But it's not like a school how I recognise it. Maybe if you live in a dense city, that's a secondary school that you would recognise. If it is, let me know. Otherwise, we've got these two down here. And I have noticed it. I think these colours just keep randomising between buildings. I mean, these look lovely. This is what I imagine. Well, this is what schools in the UK, like new modern schools, are looking like. Like limited architectural clout in some way. Like architecturally, they are very lazy. They're just a very bit boxy, and then you go, oh, put a bit of flair of colour in the corners to make it all jazzy and funky and cool and down with the kids to appeal to them. But ultimately, they are just a concrete cube. But don't take away from Nova with that, because that is what the buildings in real life look like, and these are a spitting image of it and are looking phenomenal. So again, these two will find their way into my city. They might even into some of this district, because they are tall enough at sort of 4 or 5 stories, I think, to earn their spot in the centre there. Now these other ones all go into Toronto schools. So we have a couple of really big ones. I'll pop one in here. This one I won't use, I'll pop it opposite, just down there, because it's a bit too small. I think this one here I probably won't use again, but this end one I like the look of, and I think that's them all. So these are all from the Toronto collection. Come on, off you come. So if we zoom in and have a look, like some of them are massive. Like that has a capacity for like nearly 3,000. So it must be like 2.5, sort of as a standard coming out. I love the little chimney on the back, loads of dumpsters and stuff. Got like a little sports hall it looks like. We've got a courtyard in the middle. It's lovely, I like that one. And we have this one, which looks nice and modern, but it's a bit too low rise and sprawling for what I want. This is what I imagine in like a small little town. Like, again, this one I really like too. This is what I imagine. This is what like a lot of schools look like. It's not the secondary school that I went to looked like, but there's one in a small towny village near me that looks exactly like this, but with this sort of going on and on and on and on down, and then just having like a dining hall and sports hall and stuff off the side of it. And then finally we had this one, which I really like. This might find its way in somewhere, or just by the edge. I love like the 60s design of that, like the concrete, the minimalist nature of it, like the lack of all architectural sort of narrative. Like just flat rendered concrete, like the cheapest perfect thing, the cheapest possible thing. It's just so quintessentially 60s, and it looks perfect. Oh, and then there was this one which I said was a no, because it's just too small. This just looks like one block in a school complex. It wouldn't be like a whole school. It also only has like room for 200 students, which, so yeah, nope. And again, this one's at 1.5 or something like that. I don't know how students are getting in here. It's not connected to anything. They must be running across the field. So anyway, those were all the options. Unlike some people, I will delete my little sections, because they'll just get in the way otherwise of growth and distract you for what's going on. So that's all gone. Yeah, sorry, they're all unhappy. Don't worry, we will get schools in there. So what I'm going to do now is quickly save and come back in a bit once I've done all that. Okay, so the game was saved, but I've had a few issues with the game crashing. Hence, we have seemed to jump way ahead down here. We are a much higher population, and this motorway that didn't used to exist now exists. So what I'll do is I'll give you a quick rundown of what I did. So if we zoom in here and ignore all of these please collect our trash things, because I'll get on and sort that in a moment, and we will put in some more, another industrial area, and it'll have in it the another waste collection facility, or whatever they are, the big ones that take all the crap from the little collection site. So we've got a few of the schools in. So I've actually put 2 of these in because they fitted in this gap that I left here perfectly. It was almost like it was meant to be. But this one has gone in here and it's already taking a lot of people. And because it fitted in so well, I ignored that square, but I popped in another one up here. So again, the same school is in up here, and it's looking good. If we scroll around a bit, you can see it in situ, and that's looking gorgeous. What I will do while I'm thinking about it is we can put a little bit of footpath over here. Yep. And just move it, drag that up over there, and just fill in this little gap over here. There we go. That looks a lot better now. So anyway, so I popped those 2 in, and then over here, I said I wasn't going to put these in, but there's a little one of these Nova ones, because there was a little gap that needed filling in. And I thought down here next to the park, it could be quite an exclusive district sort of thing. So you have your little private primary school to get people started. So that's in there. And then I popped in one of Nova's big secondary school somewhere. Where did I pop it in? The trouble is with this all be, oh here it is, right down where I was pretty much. The one trouble with how everything is so built up in this area, it's difficult to keep track because it's all so uniform. So pop him in, we'll just scroll around. But I think he's looking good in there. The big plaza next to him gives lots of sort of study space. There we go. But that is completely full, so we're going to need a second one of these dropped in somewhere in a bit. So anyway, that's education into this area. This is where our motorway ended last time. So I decided what we needed to do was extend it out this way. So off we come. Racing all that here, we've got a nice big bridge over here. Up the hill, and we bear around a little bit. And we do a full 360 before we carry on with our journey. And I reach this big intersection up here. So I'm really pleased with how it looks. Like it's not a finished intersection yet. It still needs to have the traffic from this way linking across in both directions, but otherwise it's all there. It's all set up. The intersection marking tool has been extensively used. Node controller has been used, and I think it's all looking very good. I'll get rid of that tree in the middle. Trees in the middle of the motorways are risky things in case they fall over or drop branches and stuff. But there we go. So that's all up there. And what I'm going to do now is end this bit of recording because I just dropped this into the video. Okay, so what I did there was I just saved it and managed to save that bit of recording. So at least we have something going forward. Over here, I think I'm going to quickly just smooth out a few of these nodes. I think it's looking a bit janky, some of this hill. And that's looking alright, that'll do for now. So I'm just going to fill in this area here quickly with a whole bunch of stuff. Just carry on mega central district up here. Okay, so that's the start of this area over here. But I'm going to put another motorway junction in over here. It's going to join on over here, and that's where I'm going to start getting my a waste transfer facility back here up and running and stuff. So that goes through here. That's more than enough height under there. Okay, it's quite a small gap this in between these two bridges. So I've got to think how I want to do this motorway junction. There's a couple of options, and they could be quite fancy or quite fiddly. So I'm going to give them a quick go, and I'll be back once I have an idea what is going on with them. Okay, so it's taking me a while to get this junction sorted out. It's sort of like a compressed diamond. I'm not quite sure what you would actually call this kind of intersection. I mean, it is just a diamond one, but that sort of has been compressed in on itself. So I'm using all of these the dirt track roads as usual to set up a guideline for where I want to go, and when I've got them in a position that I'm happy with, just upgrading it all to the slip road. I think it's all looking pretty good. It's taken me a while, as you can probably see by how long this speed through is, or this playthrough is, but it's nearly there. It's just taking a while getting the angles sorted with all the slopes and stuff, sorting out nodes and levels and stuff. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Okay, so it took a while to get that junction in, but I'm pleased with how it looks. It's got a nice sort of crossover look. So just set up the junctions on this road. There we go, that should allow that. I think what we need is a lot more waste collection going on. So I'm just going to get water pipes underneath this road. So in here next to the junction, I'm just going to put in a little industrial area, and it's just going to be, I'm going to keep it very simple. Okay, so we have our little industrial unit set up over here. We're running out of electricity, so I just put a massive bank of these geothermal plants in again. I think they look pretty cool. Got our waste processing complex and another transfer site over here. We need to get more trucks out. I mean, usually more trucks out, but they've got them all out already. We've still got lots of bins that need collecting from people, and over here it is still the same. Lots of them everywhere. It should be alright now, I was hoping, but we're going to catch it. Well, I'm going to ignore that for the moment. We're going to carry on developing down here. How am I going to do that? Or am I going to... I'm going to quickly just drop in another processing complex over here. Why not? One of those can go in there. And we'll get some water connection going on. There we go. Hopefully that will then start collecting some more stuff. Send some more trucks out. Because Lord, I need all the help I can get at the moment. This waste problem is just everywhere. Just look at them all, just bins as far as the eye can see. It's costing us in the pocket too. We're only making 23,000 at the moment. We were hovering around the 100,000 before we did this and sort of broke everything with everyone moving in. So and the poor laptop's struggling too. It's crashed a few times. I've had to go through and remove, well, I had to go through. I've gone and got rid of all the schools that I'm no longer using. A couple of them had the yellow triangle say that they were taking up an awful lot of processing power. So yeah, I got rid of them. I just saved the couple that I was using because I think they look quite cool. Are the ones that I want to use going forward. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there little bit by little bit. Come on, get more of those garbage trucks out. Collect. Why are you not collecting this stuff over here? Because this one's going to be full in a minute. Just get more trucks out. How are these two doing it over here? This one's been struggling with being full. Then we've got 3 trucks out. And we've got 4 trucks out. Come on, get more trucks going. 3 over here. Okay. Looks like we need more solutionizing going on. And I don't quite know how I'm going to solutionate my way out of this one. Or do I just ignore it and hope that the problem can start solving itself? It is tempting to let it try and fix itself as a solution. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put in a bit more stuff along here. I think down over here what we need to do is have a... what I want to do is have a big leisure complex coming in over here. Oh, just all around this lake. I'm going to run this over here. Should we change that to full-on bridge mode? Oh, just to stay at the same type of bridge. Okay, so I just dropped in a couple of districts, and I've started on this little leisure area here coming in. So what I'm going to do quickly is come to Evergreen Heights. Not there. First thing, change this to, this is going to be a leisure district. So just change it to leisure specialization. That's good. And then I come into here. What should I name this one? I've got to think of a pub. I've been to many pubs. I'm just really struggling getting the brain engaged. So this will be. Leave it at that. We'll just go to Swan Leisure Lake. Swan Leisure. So just Swan Leisure will do for now. It's nice for leisure, but it will do. Then over here, I am going to rename this whole district here. So these all around here, I'm going to be renaming after one area. So Sheffield Park is like the west section. It'll be after my local, but it's the local bar. It'll be Tomato West. Oh no, that should be Tomato South. Really, that one. Tomato South. Tomato North. Tomato West. There we go. I'll rename the name of this one because Tomato Grand Central. Tomato Grand Central. This will be Tomato Crest Central Gardens. Tomato Crest Central Park. Might as well go for park. There we go. Okay. Then over here, I should probably start renaming a few of these too. So this one here, which was just coincidentally called Florence Hill, I'll name it after a pub I went to recently. Vaguely appropriate, the Keys. So that one goes there, and I'm just going to expand that over the whole of this point. So we know that this is all going to be that district eventually. Once I finish with the central area, this will be come back in. We'll come back in over here. So yeah, we've got the Keys there, and then these two. This lot need renaming too, and this one. We've got another 3. I don't know why I'm struggling with pub names. Usually I can list pubs endlessly, but let's try to think what we already have so we don't keep going over some. Oh, there we go. Lots of people back in at the university. That's probably making us a good bit of money. Tell you what, I'll come back and name those at the end of the episode. What I'm going to do now is put in some bus lines. I think some more public transport in here will help. Okay, so that's got a few more bus routes in, and it should hopefully start making people a bit happier, sort of upgrading over here, and start moving a few more people around. So that's all looking good. Just going to put a row of leisure in over here. There we go. And a little bit in just over here. Nice. Happy days. How is the trash collection going across the town? Is it getting a bit more? Yeah, that's all looking much better than it was beforehand. There's a lot less of these trash icons. It turns out that my plan of doing absolutely nothing has worked. A few more in here in Tomato West, but we'll work on that. There's a lot there to sort out still. People are still piling into the city. We're still getting 200 plus, well, 275 people moving in a week. So we're growing nicely. Having this building here, I thought intrigued me because it was like, oh, it's being built slowly. So I'd say, look at them, so see if we can get a view through the towers. No, I don't think we really can get a good view through the towers. But I like the look of that building. It's a nice old. Oh, look at that little roof garden and everything. Back here we've got all the big buildings coming in. Look at that. All so much high rise going on. Over here, huge amount of high rise too. Hopefully we'll start leveling up the rest. That's okay. Let's reach this maximum level. That's as high as it's going to get. Yeah, that's all looking. That's all filling up over here nicely. Maybe we need to put something in this gap here. Just going to plonk in a whole heap of that there. A whole heap of that there. That was dreadful use of descriptive words for me. A whole bunch of commercial in there, so we get a bit more leisure going. Just pop in a footpath across here. There we go. And we'll have some more little parks and stuff coming in. If we come in here, what do we have? Where's the skate park again? Can also have more skate parks. There we go. Now I'm tempted by a little one in here, but I actually might go for this one of these. See if I can anarchy him in. Yeah, got it nicely. Cool. I will come around at some point and I'm going to put a nature reserve or park on this lake, and just so people can come in and use it for stuff as well. But I think that's all looking good. So one thing I'm going to check now is how is our garbage collection doing? Processing so much capacity, which is good. And as we're sorting things out, our money is increasing down here. Go away, I don't like you being on white. So we're now making 36.5 grand a week. Let me see how our university is doing. Whoa! Yes, boy. 85 grand a week, that must be. That is a lot of money coming in from that. 27% of my city's income comes from the university. It's a good showing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to start drawing this episode to a close in a moment. I'm going to do a couple of last things. One is I want to mirror this grand mall on this side of the lake, and then I want to put in a little bit of stuff on the other side of Central Park. So I'm just going to put in down here a little bit of road connection. So how are we going to get this started? There we go, that's better. We have a little bit coming on over this side, and then if I can, I will see if I can do is if there's enough room this side. So if I pull that all the way up there, how does this look underneath here? Come on. No, it doesn't quite all work. So there we go, I think that's got it. So if we look down underneath here now, so it's literally the footpath, it's got the bit of the support coming through. That works lovely. I'm going to leave it like that. There we go, that's all nice and neat squares again. So we just happy days. I think that's got most of that all linked up over there. We're going to ignore up here because that's not being linked up there. Just get some water over here and then some electricity. Then we can move on to the next area. Okay, so the electricity should now come over. One other thing I'm going to change here is I've had a thought about changing this name. Obviously I've named it after the Swan pub, but instead of calling it Swan Leisure, we have a lake in its district, so we're going to call it Swan Lakes. It's a bit cheesy, but I like it, so we're going to go with that. So that's all set up there, so that will do over there. Now what I want to do was this side of Tomato and start on Tomato East over here. So what I was thinking I might do is get rid of this road here and over there, and then try and connect it up underneath here with a little bit of a wiggle. So we're going to come underneath it, give a quick kink there, quick kink up here, and then off we go. There we go. And that looks alright. High density into that area. I'm going to be careful filling in this side, because on the other side I put in that highway with the metro line, so there should be plenty of transport, so I hope transport connections and public transport going on, so it shouldn't become too over busy. This unfortunately does not have that luxury, so it could get very busy over in this area. But we will see. There we go. And that rock's going. Now I'm going to do another couple of things down here, which I hadn't initially thought that I would do, but we're going to go for it anyway. So if we delete those, raise this up a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to put a metro station into this corner, which will come from underneath of Tomato Central. There we go, so that should be line 2 I believe, and it should now have 4 stops. So we'll just double check that quickly. Yep, 4 stops. These are both carrying lots of people, which is good to see. Okay, come off that. We'll come back into here, because what I'm going to do is change this bottom bit down here to commercial specialised tourism. Also change this to modern, and it could be called Tomato East. Cool. So any low-rise ones down here, I am just going to keep deleting and putting new ones back into. So that should have that area, a bit more commercial filling in. And we started on our area over here. What I am also thinking is, I wonder, so one thing I'm going to do quickly is see how this fits in over this side. Oh, it's probably because so that's going to come down close to the train line. Okay, so we're going to pause it because we're going to come and see if popping in these over here have a big part. There we go, and we've got the electric just jumping over there. And because that's happening, we actually now don't need this whole line over here. So this is all gone. But what I now want to see if I can work out is if I come on to move it, we can get rid of the electric stuff. So move it, this one, see, will he fit in over here? And then will another one fit in this gap over here too? I mean, we've probably got too many in this gap now, but we might, I think for now they look pretty cool. So you can try and get them to jiggle into this space so they don't mess up the plaza too much, and that this other one doesn't clash with the train line. So we'll check on the roadside, get it to leveled out, and then just make sure that he's not obstructing the trains coming in. There we go, something like that, and I'll be back in a bit. I find these car parking spaces annoying sometimes. We don't need them. I would just rather it was a nice flat grey out the front. Let's get rid of those. Lots going on in this corner now over here, and I'll just see if I can sort these out quickly. Okay, so that's all there on there, and it's all coming together nicely. So we've got quite a bit done in this episode. We started on a few areas. I'm going to stop jiggling around. So I'm quite enjoying this area here now. It's becoming very high rise, with the trains fitting through the middle of it and everything. I think that's all looking very nice. And what I quite like is these IT cluster buildings over here are similar heights to all of them, so it's not like these are looking ridiculously high and stuff. So I think that's looking good. So I'm going to have a quick pan around as we do. Enjoy the skyline and everything. Here comes lots of trains coming through. And this is probably where we're going to leave it at the end of this episode. In the start of the next episode, I'm going to put in some industry and stuff. Do something that I've not put in yet. Some oil industry. But until next time, see you again next time. Ciao.